Hey everyone, Whitney here from the Resonate team. Today we're talking about all things Clubhouse. We're covering some of the basics of what Clubhouse is and how to use it, the differences between Clubhouse and podcasting, and finally we'll talk about a number of ways that you can consider using Clubhouse as a podcaster. So what is Clubhouse? In essence, Clubhouse is an audio-based social media app. Think of it as halfway between a podcast and a party. It's kind of like a podcast in the sense that you're listening to people having a conversation, and it is audio only. But instead of listening to a pre-recorded conversation with different production elements, it's a live conversation that you can pop in and out of, and you can ask questions to the hosts. So how do you use Clubhouse? First, you want to explore the clubs that Clubhouse offers. These are based on common interest. To find these, you can click on the magnifying glass to explore some topics. Within each of these topics are a myriad of others. Let's take tech, for instance. You'll see there are more topics to explore and clubs to follow. One popular club is this one, called Human Behavior. If you click on the title, you can scroll down to see descriptions of the club, as well as the members that you can follow. Now let's say you want to join a room. Select the calendar icon at the top of the app, and it will list different rooms scheduled for the day that you can join. You can set up push notifications to be notified when the room is opening so that you're sure to join. One thing to note is that you can come and go from these rooms at any time. Second, let's take a look at starting a room. If you start a room, you would be considered a moderator. Let's say I want to start a room for podcasters, and the topic for today is how to use interview podcasts to tell a story. I'm going to go to start a room, and from here, you can select social or open. Social is limited to people that the moderators follow. Open is an open room for literally anyone and everyone to join. When Clubhouse was initially released, people saw it as a potential platform for podcast development, or in some cases, even podcast replacement. Clubhouse is raw, organic conversation, not recorded, edited, or produced. It's literally a live conversation where other people can listen and interact with questions and comments. Podcasting offers more produced, often edited and polished audio content. Clubhouse is great for live conversations, but once it's over, you can't access it again. Podcasting has the advantage here, since your recorded material can live online where people can access it at any time. I want to quickly hit on some of the cons of Clubhouse. One being the timing. If there's a conversation coming up that interests you, but you can't tune in at that time, then there's really no way for you to be able to consume that content. Second, there's a lot of clutter on Clubhouse. And one of the things that adds to the clutter is the fact that it's really hard to verify or vet people because their credentials aren't really available. Your bio is the only place you can help people know who you are. But there are some really great ways that Clubhouse can coincide with podcasting. Clubhouse is a great platform to use if you would like for your listeners to have the ability to interact with the content in real time. For example, if you are the host of a serial true crime show, you could use Clubhouse to host a live Q&A with your listeners where they can ask direct questions about your podcast content. Another really valuable way to use Clubhouse as a podcaster is to use this as a platform to help you become a better host by improving your moderation and conversation skills. Hosting your own rooms makes you practice moderating conversations, which will directly strengthen your skills as a podcast host. Clubhouse can also be a way to help you develop future podcast content. You can host a new room, pitch your ideas to your audience, and get direct feedback from friends, colleagues, and new connections in Clubhouse. Third, you can use Clubhouse to find potential podcast guests by networking. Clubhouse makes it super easy to connect with other people in your industry. When you join a room for a speaker you like, you can see everyone followed by the speakers. You can read people's bios to learn more about them. And once you meet someone new, it's easy to find their contact info either using their Instagram or Twitter links in their bio or by looking them up on LinkedIn. And finally, another way to use Clubhouse as a podcaster is to host a recurring room. This is a super popular trend. Businesses, podcasters, and influencers alike have been building weekly events that cover a common topic. You can choose a clear niche Choose a consistent time each week and keep showing up. One idea is to drop an episode every Monday, for instance, then host a recurring room to break down your episode every Wednesday. This can help create a virtuous cycle, pushing your audience from your podcast to Clubhouse and from Clubhouse back to your podcast. And over time, you'll bring in a larger audience as people learn about the event and get excited to show up and ask you questions. At the end of the day, Clubhouse has its own perks, but so does podcasting. And we think they both have their place. One doesn't have to replace the other. They can work together.